playing the one way more than I'm playing, off the ball. But our transition, anybody can bring it up the floor. So that's just a whole nother thing that people are going to have to watch for in transition. She's bringing it up and I'm running the court. That's not easy to defend.
And you mentioned the turnover aspect. How do you focus on that and improve that, but still be what you guys need to be?
Absolutely. And, turnovers is not something that you can go into the gym and just get better at. Like, it's a decision you're making in game. So, it's something we focus on every practice. When we're going live versus our practice boys, we have a set number of what we want to be under. And I think just having it be a focal point of what you're doing every single day when you step on the court. Like I said, it's not something you can come in and work on when you're in the gym. I think you can get better at passing, but, I would never change the style of play that I am. If I have one or two turnovers more than somebody else, so be it. I think the style we play is exciting. And when you're playing up-tempo and playing fast and scoring more points, you're just destined to have more turnovers. But we still definitely need to limit them, and that will even make us score more points. And, that's not free possessions for the other team to have as well. That's the biggest downside of a turnover.
How excited are you for the season?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, I think we have one of the toughest non-conference schedules we've had in Coach Fluter's time. So, I think that's what prepares you for March. That's the most important part. Obviously, we have a lot of challenging games, but then you get in the Big Ten season, and it doesn't get any easier. So, those are the games you live for. Those are the games the crowd gets excited about. So I think that's what really gets me going is we don't have any easy games. We need to be ready from the get-go, but like I said, our practices have been tremendous, so we'll be ready to go. And, I'm surprised it's already here, but I can't wait.
You mentioned, Caitlin, about the competitiveness and what you just said about your upcoming schedule. You're playing teams like Iowa State and NC State early on, and the Phil Knight tournament during Thanksgiving. As a competitor yourself, and given the up-tempo play of this team, what does it mean for you all to be able to sort of hit the ground running early on, taking on those teams and being in that position?
Yeah, and I feel like we're quite a bit ahead of where we were last season. Last season we focused so much on defense in the off-season. I'm not sure I would say it hindered our offense, but at the same time we weren't improving in that area at the same time. And then obviously we battled COVID, that sets us back a little bit. So, it's nice to have everybody healthy. We got, 14 girls, obviously Kylie's out for the year. And being able to have depth and be healthy and be in the gym all summer together has been super important. But like you said, there's no time for messing around. We are right into it. But I wouldn't want it any other way. I know Coach Bluter wouldn't want it any other way. That's what, makes teams great, is you're playing great competition. And then when you get into March, one, if you beat them, you're going to get a better seed, or two, it's going to prepare you to beat them in March. So, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great year for us. And I also think, that's what's going to bring even more excitement to our team, is just that we're playing great teams every night. That's what people want to come and watch. People don't want to come and watch, when we're blowing teams out by 50 points. So they want close, competitive games, but we still need to come out on top when we play teams like that.
You had told yourself 3 years ago that you were going to sign with Nike in college. I guess what was your reaction? Man, granted, NIL wasn't a thing obviously at the time, but just kind of the magnitude of it.
Yeah, obviously I'm super blessed and fortunate to have that opportunity, but like you said, NIL wasn't a thing, so it's even hard to wrap your head around. But obviously they have some of the greatest athletes in the world. Serena Williams, one of my favorite athletes to ever walk this earth, if not my favorite. So it's just people who you still look up to today and are like icons to you, and now you're a part of that family. It's really just an honor and a blessing. But obviously my biggest focus is to win basketball games, help this team win basketball games. So that's what I'm focused on. But, it was a really, really cool opportunity and kind of a surreal moment.
I asked you this question last year. I'm going to ask it again. Who's the most famous person in your phone?
Oh, man. I don't know about, in my contacts. Obviously, I've heard from a lot of really cool people, a lot of people that have inspired me in my basketball journey or in my sports journey in general growing up. Obviously, Sue Bird has commented on my game, Diana Taurasi. I was on their show they had during the Final Four, so that's cool. Two people I really, really looked up to and still look up to. Kevin Durant, Trae Young, all those players, they're still role models to me, and to have them comment on my game, is just like such a cool thing to see, and it honestly makes you want to work harder. That's really the biggest thing.
You and Monica have been seen kind of as the dynamic duo, but what have you seen from like Sharon coming back from her ACL tear and Addie and AJ backups?
Yeah, I think number one, it's been super competitive with 4-5s. That's the biggest thing, and obviously Monica in her 5th year now. It's important to, have people that are solid backups. In the Big Ten's physical, you never know what foul trouble is going to be like. So I think having other people to rely on is super important. But I think even Hannah Stolke, she's played the 5 a little bit as well. And she kind of just gives us a different look, a more athletic look. Can really jump, long, athletic, can defend, can get offensive rebounds. But yeah, I think, Sharon obviously coming off injury is hard for anybody. Definitely a slow process, but, she's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. So I think it's just encouraging her and taking a step forward every single day. And, she's getting better as every day comes around. But, she didn't play basketball for a whole year. That's hard to do, and to come back into such a competitive team like this, it's hard. But I think she's done a tremendous job of handling it well. And obviously she had a freshman season, and I think she's going to have a great rest of her career as well.
Coach Bluter said that y'all have a target on your back this year. I think that you could look to last year's Big Ten slate as the same way, down the stretch, winning the regular season, going into the tournament as champions and winning that.
Yep.
How much of that experience can y'all draw on to help y'all going into this year? We are going to be a top 5 team.
I think last year, like you said, I think people wanted to beat us. They had our game start on the schedule, and it's going to be no different this year. People want to beat Iowa. This is one of the hardest places to play in the country. We have some of the best fans, some of the loudest fans. If you ask other Big Ten players, where do you like to play the most, they say Iowa. One, because it's so loud, but 2, people actually come and watch the games and cheer and enjoy it. But yeah, I think, you want to be that team that start on people's schedule. You don't want to be a team that they don't look forward to playing. That's when you're good. People are excited to play you, and they want to beat you. That's the most important thing. So no matter who we're playing, I think the Big Ten is so solid that you can lose to anybody. And that's what makes it such a fun conference. And I just, I'm excited. I think people love playing us. And no matter who you're playing, you're getting their best shot every single night. If it's a team that doesn't really make threes, they're going to make them versus you. So you have to come prepared. But, we know we have a target on our back, but we wouldn't want it any other way. We want to rise to the occasion and be able to prevail.
Historically, Iowa's had a lot of years of being something of an underdog, and that is getting a little bit harder when you guys are ranked number 4 in the nation and everybody's paying attention to you guys. How do you kind of still play the underdog role as you enter this coming season?
Yeah, I think Coach Bluter's program has always been very, very respected, and I think that speaks to, what she's built here. Obviously, been here quite some time, had so many tremendous players. But yeah, you kind of go into the game with a mentality that you still have something to prove, even if we are ranked number 4. Maybe some people don't think you should be ranked number 4. Maybe some people do. I think every day you should come in and prove to other people who you are, and prove to yourself, more importantly, what you can do. I think everybody on this team knows what we're capable of. It's just stepping on the floor and showing everybody else what we can do, and coming out and winning the basketball game. And we know there's going to be good days. We know there's going to be bad days. And how are we going to respond to that and get better? Because, we have a tough schedule. People in the Big Ten are great. Nobody said we're going to go undefeated. But it's what you do with those hard days that really make your team great.
Were you watching the Iowa State football game when your brother scored the 2-point conversion?
I was not, no, but I replayed it. Don't worry. Yeah. My dad was actually there, and a lot of my cousins. My mom was back home in Des Moines with my younger brother who had homecoming that weekend. But I think I had like 50 text messages on my phone. It wasn't even me that made the play. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is there a family emergency or something? I was freaking out. And then I read the messages, and I was so happy for him. To see his career just unfold at Iowa State, it's been tremendous. And, he's one of the best leaders and role models I've had in my life. He's just mature beyond his years, and he's one of my biggest fans. So, this is his last year playing there. I know when football wraps up, he'll probably be screaming in about the 5th row over there. He's one of the loudest people. Some of the coaches come up to me after the games like, man, your brother is loud. I'm like, it's no different than me. So, but no, he's awesome, and that was a super cool moment for him.
Any comments on his mustache game? Where it's at right now?
I know they showed that. My mom was probably mortified when they showed that on TV. He had a whole beard the game before that and the mustache going on. So Yeah, he needs to shave it. I hope he sees that.
Caitlin, I heard through the grapevine that you were asleep when you had the 2-point conversion. Is that true?
I was asleep. Not a great moment for me. I actually wasn't feeling too great that day, but I replayed the whole game and I saw it all. So, no, it was super awesome. I mean, like I said, I'm just super happy for him. It's such a cool moment. And I mean, it wasn't something that was planned. He kind of had to make that play on the fly, which even makes it that much better. But I just think that speaks to who he is. Like I said, he's one of the best role models I've ever had in my life. He's one of those people that prepares for everything. Like he's the starter, or like he's the best player on the field. He gives everything 110% to that team. And, you know, that's something I try to live by too. You know, no matter what your role is in any situation, you want to give your all because you never know what the result's going to be at the end of the day. And it just makes everybody around you so much better. So, you know, he's been a big inspiration for me and my little brother. He's kind of just showed us, you know, what sports can do for your life and kind of change your life in that regard.
The fact that you go to Iowa and he goes to Iowa State, what's the rivalry like?
Yeah, I mean, people probably would think it's way worse, but it's really not. I mean, we play two completely different sports, and he's the biggest fan of me, and I'm the biggest fan of him. And we really love and support each other every single day. I was just texting him with him the other day about some stuff, but yeah, I think he's super excited for this year because football wraps up, and usually he's not able to come to a ton of stuff because they have winter workouts and stuff. So he's going to be in the stands. Maybe one game I can convince him to wear an Iowa shirt because he's finally done with football, but I doubt that will ever happen. He's usually in like the orange WNBA sweatshirt, which is even better. So no, he's awesome, and obviously, like my parents probably have more Iowa and Iowa State clothes than about anybody in this state. And my little brother supports the both of us. Sometimes we joke with the little bro about who he likes more, but no, he's really supportive of us both too. And it's been cool. You know, my parents are so busy going to football still, and then my basketball season's about to start. My little brother plays, you know, basketball right now and does track, so they're crazy busy, but they make it to everything, which is really awesome. So my mom always says we're so lucky, and that's so true. You know, we get to come out here and do something we love every single day, which a lot of people don't get the opportunity to. So I really just try to take it in and enjoy, you know, all of it.
Caitlin, you've got such a unique team and the amount of experience and the stars you have coming back this year. How have you guys made sure to make kind of the new kids feel welcome, the transfers and the freshmen that are coming in?
Yeah, I think that's super important. And I think that's just what Coach Bluter's programs are always all about. Every single person on this team is just as important as the other. And we truly believe that everybody has a voice in our locker room. Everybody can speak up, say how they feel, offer opinions about what we need to do, what we need to change. And that's what the best teams have. That's something you have to have in your locker room. We value every single person, but like I said, I think that speaks to what Coach Bluter's built here. She's been here for so long. She's built this program up to become the 4th best program in the country. But yeah, like you said, it's so important to get the new kids, you know, accustomed to the way we do things, helping them, guiding them, driving them to practice, whatever it is. You know, you want to be there for them because people that were older than you when you first arrived, they did that for you too. So I think that just speaks to the culture she's built here more than anything.
Who was it that did that for you personally?
Oh, I think probably Monica and Kate. They were there for me probably the most out of anybody. They probably got annoyed for how many rides I asked. Actually, Gabby drove me all the time. You have to ask Gabby how much she drove me. She drove me so much. But yeah, I mean, they're always there, you know, to pick up the freshmen, or if it's a transfer, you know, showing them where the best food spots are, where they should eat, or, you know, taking them to class. We're showing them where their building's at. I think that's telling them where to pack on a road trip. Everybody was just asking in the locker room, like, I don't know what to bring. I'm like, just bring some clothes and like whatever you need in the bathroom, you're good. They send you uniform, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I think it's just guiding them along on the little things. And the biggest adjustment from going to high school to college is that, you know, you're usually the star on your high school team, and you get here and not everybody can be the star. That's just how it is, and people are used to playing in the entire game, and you get here and you don't even see the floor. So, you know, it's a journey, I think, but at the end of the day, you give 110%, you're going to see the rewards later. Maybe it's going to be this year, maybe it's going to be next year, maybe it'll be your senior year, but eventually all that work pays off. And I think, you know, the type of kids Coach Bluter recruits are the ones that, you know, will work every single day, and that's what makes your culture better.
Before Coach Bluter spoke today, they made an announcement that you have more season tickets sold this year than any other year in Iowa history. Gosh, yeah. I mean, what's it like to be part of a program that is at a place where the Hawkeyes have never been before?
I think you have to kind of take a step back and enjoy it all for a moment. I think that's what I'm going to try to do the most this year is just, enjoy every single second because this is, not normal for women's basketball. It needs to become the new normal, but as of now, we're kind of rewriting the history books, and I hope that only changes women's basketball's future. I think we can show that women's basketball is exciting. It is fun. People do love it. The city of Iowa City, the state of Iowa, they love women's basketball. They support it. They know it's great. I think that's the biggest thing. So I think for myself is just enjoying every single second. And I'm so grateful that people want to come and watch us. That's a choice that they made. We don't force them in this building. But yeah, I think, if you haven't got your season tickets, you better get them, especially for those big games, because this place might be sold out. So many people asked me for tickets to Michigan last year, and I'm like, I can't help you. I've already given away like 40. But yeah, get your season tickets if you haven't, because this place is going to be packed all year long. And it's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. It's a good time.
Caitlin, to kind of build on that, WNBA is at an all-time high viewership right
Yeah.
now. You signed with Nike. People want to watch you play. You just mentioned the season tickets. I mean, just with you being in the spotlight for as many years as you have been now, do you kind of feel like there's a responsibility for you to really help grow women's basketball?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think, being an inspiration for not only young girls, but young boys as well. Like, there's still a ton of young boys that come to our games and love watching us. And I looked up to females and males growing up. There was great athletes that I loved. But yeah, I think being in the spotlight and showing what women's basketball can be, not only as a player, but as a person, how you should carry yourself is just as important. Being a great role model, because there's so much more to life than just basketball. And I think sometimes, you need to take a step back and really assess that. Obviously, you can get caught up in the heat of the season, but, I'm so lucky to have this opportunity, and it can be taken away from you just like that. So enjoying every single second you step on this court, showing what you're about, showing the passion, showing why you love to play. That's why people are attracted to this game, why people are attracted to our team, because we play like we love. You can see that we love each other, and I think that's why people want to turn us on TV. That's why we get to play on national television. We play exciting basketball. So I think just being your true, authentic self and loving what you do is the most important part.